Hey everybody, and welcome back to another casted game here on Age of Bison with the hopefully new and improved microphone. So please let me know if there's any interference, weird sounds, bad audio, audio drops as the game goes on. The monotone and rambling, unfortunately, is a organic issue on my side, so that will remain. And today we have a very interesting cast. We've got Vindian, a longtime cook, I would say, of the server. You've probably seen him do quite interesting builds. He submitted this one against Italy. Ethiopia is a civ that's definitely been kind of reduced in power, so very curious how both of these civs that have had a lot of changes interface with each other on a map that both civs I think can take advantage of. And I am joined here today by our good friend Rob, or the owner of the Ducks. And Rob, why don't you introduce yourself while I start this?
Yo, I am Rob. I'm currently in the Sunbros clan, and I got an invite today with Platypus to join a cast, which is my first cast actually. So it's gonna be an honor to cast my friend here, Vindian, as my first cast.
Exactly. So, what do you think about these civs? Again, they're new civs. They're not, I would say that they're not fully explored, but they're definitely a lot of options. And wow, look at that. Like, where does Vindian go first with his Explorer?
Yeah, I totally agree with Vindian to just go straight for the cattle on this map, since actually both of these civs benefit a lot of from livestock on the map. Like Italy could easily put down a free livestock, get huge value of the cows, but Ethiopia, of course, that doesn't get a lot of cattle, is gonna have like an insane eco if they get all of these cows. It's gonna be a big game changer in this game.
Exactly. I mean, of course, for the African civs, they have the livestock market, which has two functions. A, it fattens, and then B, while fattening these cows, they trickle influence, which unlocks a bunch of the unique units for these civs.
I agree.
Yeah,
And also with the unexplored stuff, like there's so many like new things that people don't even think about. Like, wow, there's actually a way to play this, even a new meta, you know? Like it pops up every time, and especially with Italy on these types of map, I feel like there can be so many like different strats. Like with the cows, you have the water, and you have the free buildings, right? So you could just spam down docks and livestock, and like you could like do a rush with this or something.
exactly. And I think Italy, what makes it so frustrating for new players is you have all these options, but you kind of have to have a plan and then execute it, and like you said, adjust to maps. So we'll see how Zweinstein 83 how he is going to go. So deck is not in yet, but it looks like our deck is in for Vindian. Okay, so again,
Wow,
Vindian,
that's
the
an
mad
interesting one.
scientist, right? Um, shift. Okay, outlaws possibly sending Trinity to open up with Spice Trade. Really good card if you can get the trade line right. Ironmonger. I,
Could
not,
this possibly be like H2 play? Maybe some timing with outlaws or something? I'm not sure. Vindian always got these strats up in his head, and he's making them work in some way.
exactly right. So like we're gonna have to keep an eye, I think, on Ethiopia, what it ages up with, and kind of how he's interfacing with the map. For Italy, it's looking like, because we can see the foundations here, kind of the Lombard boom, right? 1v1 land. Um, Interesting with the Fenar allies. I kind of like it, but of course, with Italy, their crossbows are not the best unit currently in the early game. So this is looking more like a very passive Italy, where they sit, they take all their free buildings, they try to be defensive, and they try to get to age 4, where they get these very powerful unit shipments.
It looks like that, yeah. It's gonna be a very late age up from Italy, but if he sends this age 1 card that makes him age up faster, I think we will be good to go. But despite if Italy want to go like fast up to age 3 or 4, and Vindian has a specific timing in mind, that could be very dangerous for Ethiopia.
I agree. Aging up with the governor, so we might be seeing like a fast fortress actually from Italy, which is interesting because it's typically described as like a semi-FF civ, right? Okay, watchtower. Okay, he is building a watchtower, aging up with the Portuguese for 300 wood, stacking a shipment. You know, the watchtowers for
Wow.
Ethiopia are like a tavern, right? They build their outlaws. I wonder if Vindian's considering opening up with Shiftas, which is the card that makes their outlaws 2-pop. Sorry, this one.
I think that might be the strat here. He's going for a forward tower, very forward tower, and he's got coin on his mountain monastery, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to go coin heavy, like pretty sure.
Yeah, this is kind of interesting. He doesn't have a lot of coin stuff though. So what is Vindy cooking, right? If you're in the chat, what did you think Vindy was cooking? Too bad it's not like a live cast, because I would love to see like the before and afters. Because you know he's got this wood. He's not even picking it up yet. He's going for a palace immediately as his first Age 2 shipment. He just put the arsenal down. Oh, pathing issues.
I'm not really don't really know all of the outlaws from the watchtower. Could we look what Vindian could possibly get from it?
So he's gonna okay. So they always get the Desert Warrior, Desert Archer, and the Desert Raider, right? And then they get whatever other options are on the map. Now I believe the ones on this map aren't the best. So we'll see what Vindian does. But yeah, he's opening up with these. These are almost like Corollians. Pre-nerf Corollians, basically.
Corollians. Okay. A batch of 3?
Yeah. Not
We
the...
could have gotten a bit more, but I am not sure what he's gonna do though. H2 against Italy. Italy has a towering base, maybe?
Correct.
Yeah, he does. That's gonna be hard to push into with Musks. It's such fortified right now.
Exactly. You know, not just that too. These guys, they have a fast range attack, but you know these vills are still gonna get out of there. Okay, Vindy, what are you cooking? He's got 700 influence stacked. Is he aged with Portugal, so he can go with the crossbows, but Vindy's not been a fan of those, so I would be shocked if that's the way he's going. Italy now building a racks. I would imagine Italy is getting ready to age. Yep.
Italy is heavily fortified right now. It's gonna be hard to do any H2 pressure right now. I think Vindian might be thinking of aging up too. Actually, with the 700 coin coming in. Or maybe... Oh, is that Cannoneers?
Yep. So aging up with the
It
Portugal, as Ethiopia, you get 300 wood, you get an arsenal, you get a couple techs in your mountain monastery, including access to crossbows, and then you can also unlock cannoneers in the tavern. And of course, the Ethiopian ones do get a small stat increase every single age. So they are influence only though. So here we go. Nice little kind of merc force. Not the biggest one, but I think enough to poke. And how is Italy going to respond to this? Normally Italy just does nothing, but wow, he's sending Fenar. Okay.
Ooh, F7. Oh, Fenar? F7?
Yep. You are correct, Rob. Good call.
Got... How many cows does Vindian have? Like, since he can spam those cannoneers, we got a lot of cows.
Yep.
That's a good pickup from Vindian early game.
Exactly, and you know, again, these hand cannoneers, they could beat the Fenar up close, but again, I think Vindy's kind of thinking, hey, is it worth pushing right now? Probably not.
I agree with Vindian. Let's just mass a bit more and then go in. We already delayed Italy from aging, so that's actually really good.
I agree. Oh, but now Italy's also getting
the
broken
mercs.
lance. And these lancers,
That's
man, they're
scary.
I know, they're so scary. Anyone wondering too, I do kind of like the forward mount monastery because it's giving a passive heal on his very expensive units, right? So he's out of the range right now. Or nope, it still is. Okay.
He's got a lot of line of sight from that too, right?
Yes, they are pretty good with line of sight. So, good job,
yeah, I can
scouting.
almost see all the way up to
Okay.
space.
And he sent
This is
what?
great.
Lalibala, right? 'Cause it sends an Abin. Yeah, this does make the mines. I think the yield is what, 25? Wow. So it's like a 25% boost. Although personally, I like sending Tabit because it's just an instant 900 coin per one. But Again, Vindy's,
So
I think
it's
he's strapping in for the long game.
similar to like Silversmith, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Increases the yield. This is a pretty good force. Now, these Desert Raiders are pretty interesting because they do siege damage, right? And so they bypass most resistances. But they're not exactly the strongest unit, right? 26 attack, 280 health. So, we've got some dancing going on here.
I
Now he's
see,
adding
yeah.
in... Yeah, he's getting that.
Desert Archers.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Vindy rode these things hard when they first came out. And those Desert Archers were just incredible. And he, even though they've cooled off, like their stats are still pretty good. I mean, their pop is high. They're not the most efficient units, but I mean, look at just the damage on these things.
Oh, they got a big range too. 22 range.
Yep.
That's
Plus,
really nice. You could snipe so many units.
yeah, and a little bit extra multipliers as well compared to the normal kind of like archer types. So, Vindy here though, 26 vills. Okay, surely now Italy is going to age up, and I mean, even if they lose this Basilica, it's not the end of the world.
Italy can age up right now. You should, in my opinion, try to age up, get the Falcons, and then take the fight.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to poke around and stuff, because again, these Mercs do so good damage, because, you know, these units, they are really good as like a Musk unit, the Desert Warriors, but these things are Lancers.
Yeah, they have insane attack against infantry.
They do, and I think
Got the age up.
ooh, Italy now adding a dock. Good play there. I really think Italian water is underutilized. There's a lot of combinations that are outside the scope of this cast, but the craziest water boom in the game is Italy's if you send all the cards. So it's not always viable 1v1 to pull off because the Civ's tempo, but I mean, yeah, we're about to watch Italy explode if Italy gets these docks going. Even another one down here would be good.
It's definitely one of the more rare ones of the strats with LA to go water boom. I agree with that one.
Yeah, it's a bummer too because it's so strong, but you know, every player has their style and their opinion, and I'm not married to that opinion. I could be dead wrong, so get in the comment section. We always encourage people to let us know what their thoughts are. But just like that, Italy now age 3. With the Paviciae, a good unit in theory, but their cost is really terrible. And they lost HP, they lost base attack, they lost range on their vet. I would have probably aged up with the tower, but I'm a greedy boy. Yeah, I don't agree. How much does he have? 8? 12? 12 Paviciae vet? I don't know, man. I'd rather get veteran, I think, for the musketeers.
So he's probably trying to hit for timing right now. But he doesn't have a lot of XP, so he can't get those Falcons out fast if he wants them. Does he have any like resource in his Lombards, or
Let's take a look. Vindian 2 aging up with the Jesuits. Not a bad one yet. He's deposited food and coins, so he's moving stuff around. Ooh, he's got access to armored pistoliers. Oh.
wow.
Ooh, these units. You're speaking of Musk. No wonder why you're not upgrading your Musk. You don't need to. Now you've got these bad boys. But of course,
Especially
sorry, no, you finish your thought.
Ethiopia in H3, they don't really have like those big cards that are like insane, do they?
They have some that are pretty solid, but no, it's not the same level as like Spahi. And now Vindian sending the Sebastopol mortar. I have a little bit of a sarcastic but honest opinion that people need to stop using Sebastopol Falcons or Sebastopol mortars as Falcons. They're not a Falcon, they are a mortar. Like in this case, he's sending it, but unless he plans on going the offensive, you're better off shipping 1,000 influence and getting a bunch of Falcons, you know, or Culverins or whatever that it is that you need. So I'm not a huge. I like these mortars when you're pushing forts or Inca or civs that are like really tanky, but including Italy. But if you're not going to go on the offense, it's definitely not a very efficient use. Okay, what do we got?
I agree with you.
So
Town Center. Okay, so he's going for a harder boom actually. But he's probably building that with an architect, right? So he's getting everything for free, which is very nice. Oh, Vindian's got the stagecoach too,
This is so greedy.
trickling in resources.
This is what I love about Vindy games, though. Vindian, we even have a joke in our server. We used to call it Vindy greed, when like you're just like almost when you're playing treaty in a supremacy game, and like your level of greed. I mean, look at this. This is just asking. Ethiopia doesn't really have Vil shipments, right? So, like, you don't want to be losing Vils for nothing. But he's going to send out the Centaur Horsemen. These things are pretty tanky. They're kind of like Mamluks. Not as good in my opinion, but still a very solid shipment. I mean, Mamluks are just god tier of a cav shipment.
If we look at the map, we're also looking at Italy is actually almost starving from hunts. So if he isn't thinking about going more heavy watery, he's gonna starve out soon, and he's gonna have to apply pressure to Ethiopia here.
Exactly. Okay, big fight coming in. It looks like the broken lances, they are going to come in. Ooh, not the best micro though. Those Falcons are going to go down. And now the Centaur Horsemen are in. And again, these are some tanky boys. Yeah,
This is... I mean, that was great micro from Vindian by the cav there, making them walk so far around to get to all of the bows and the abers.
Yeah, now, though, those Lancers are going to just chew right through. He's got a Lancer kind of not paying attention. Good micro, though, from Vindy to get these Horsemen, though, back on. I mean, the Horsemen... a little bit
just
better.
A bit unfortunate timing.
Yeah.
Still, it looks like we're cleaning this up pretty hard, actually.
Wow, and just like that, Italy has to back off, it feels like. What is Italy responding with? He's got a shipment. He's got plenty of res.
Oh,
Black Company.
we got Black Riders. This is gonna be hard for Vindian to encounter.
I agree. I think Vindian came out stronger there, and as long as he has this map control, right, he should be okay. And I think you're right. Like, there's only one hunt left. Lots of idols, too, for Italy. Does Italy
We gotta use the Lombards nice here to, like, trade out our resources.
Does Italy not see that? I mean, that's a huge raid there. But, of course, Italy's waiting now.
4 stacked shipments.
Well, these are Basilica shipments. But you're right, he's overgathered on res, and he needs to boom. Get techs.
I wish we could get like 2-3 docks on each side, like to get that insane boom going.
Ooh, Indian spice trade, though, did just come in for Vindian. Vindian now going straight to H4 with the Somalis. Again, Vindian is a huge fan of FI play, especially with Ethiopia. You know, him and I have had differences of opinions when it comes to the power of Ethiopia. And a lot of it's because this was the previous playstyle, right? It was just sit in your base, build forts, build towers, spam out shadow teching units, go to H4 and just win, right? And the devs, to their credit, have really tried to move Ethiopia away from, like, arguably bottable gameplay. So I think it's a good idea. The question is, though, is, you know, get Italy with the remass, German company too. They might be able just to flatten all of this stuff from Ethiopia if they're not careful. And, you know, the shipments in H4 for Ethiopia are not the strongest, right?
I agree. If Vindian gets enough time now to get like upgrades, get a shipment in with H4 units, I think this is gonna be very, very hard for Italy to encounter. But if they just push out straight when this Merc shipment comes, they could have a big chance of regaining the whole map and taking the win.
I think so. And just like that, yep, Italy's getting ready. He's got the Priest too to tank. He's got the Jaegers. He's got the Giant Grens. And I think it's right-click time if you're Italy.
It's go time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Italy's aging up behind this too. Again, the power of Lombards, right? Ooh, no, Vindian's cav is separated.
Oh, this is not good. We need the cav back.
Was he worried about the Black Riders? Perhaps it's a tactical move, but still, I mean, you're losing a lot of the power.
I mean,
of your army.
he's taking a good fight under the tower and the fort, so that's actually really nice.
Oh, spies from the
Gonna
Jesuit
do a lot of
church.
damage. Vindian, of course, going with the greedy cows in the markets.
Oh. Yep, that's our boy. And again, you know, greed.
That's our boy, yeah.
I always say this a million times. Like,
Oh, is that spice? Did Vindian make spice?
yes.
Ooh, and like 75% of Italy's army is mercs.
Exactly. And he's even shipping more Papal Lancers. So I think, you know, again, Vindian's got map control. And to be fair, I mean, Vindian, I think, is better set up for the long term. I like now, finally, that Italy is going to try to do something about this map. But was he aging up with the Papal Guard? That's what, 9 halberdiers? Papal halberdiers. Now he's getting the Elite Javelin Riders. Does he have Shewa Riders? He does not. I feel like that's a card Ethiopia should have in more decks, the Shewa Riders. It adds armor and attack to their cavalry. So their Javelin Warriors can be better than Riders, arguably.
We got a lot of spice right now, and if Italy can't micro properly, Vindian is just gonna clean this whole army up so easily.
Exactly. I mean, look at this. He's got spies, he's got Elite Javelin Riders, he's got Centaur Horsemen. He's got the 2 Sebastopols, which again, I think at this point, if you're Vindy, you're better off sending anything else. And Italy's going to hit H4, which means their mercs are going to Shadow Tech here in a second, too. Yep.
Vindian is going in. Let's see how it goes.
Oh, and I like it. I like it. Using that a little bit tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Italy, look, its army is split up. You know, something that happens so much in the game, right? Is you try not to split your army. Good job. A nice little crack shot there, though, to get a little bit of extra damage. Good job from Zoenstein. You know, this guy's showing a lot of comfort, I would say, with Italy. So, Milanese Arsenal now coming in. I don't know if that's right for Age 4. Like, you're better off sending units. But this Arsenal, I love it. This is my favorite card for Italy because it's essentially a 7 Vil shipment and an advanced Arsenal all in one. Because the Italians, you know, they get a villager for every technology, and so you get reduced technology cost too.
Oh wow, I haven't even thought about that.
Yeah.
It's actually very, very good value. Ooh, a big fight is incoming.
Look at this.
Exciting.
And these mortars, I mean, because they're H4 now, they've got 30 range and 34 range. So, like, they will do a number into Italy. Although Italy's sending its big boy card.
If we could just bait out Italy with the mortars and then get all the spice on top, it's gonna be like an insane fight for Vindian, and he's probably gonna clean this whole thing up.
Exactly. I just realized the animation that the chain kind of... Look at that. Jiggles. That's cool. Yeah, this Basilica is going to go down, but I think at this point it's gotten the value, right? Because Italy just wants to wait for this, and then all of its text. It's got 59 Vils to the 40 of Ethiopia. Good job, too. I like the tower on the shore. Oh,
how much rest is Italy floating right now?
A lot. Now it's all wood, so they need to figure out how to do something. Lombard's probably going to go down.
Left, so the Vindian is currently starving Italy.
I think so. And now that the big shipments popped, okay, so like this is kind of Italy's chance to get through this game. Are the spies going to come?
He's going a bit. He's going in a bit too fast. He's going without the Papal Guards.
Exactly. And just to what? Kill a mortar? Again, this thing's not as threatening to your troops. And all right, he needs to turn around. Like, I know spies are good, but you're also doing a lot of damage back to them.
Let's look at this. Spies are cleaning up here. Look at all that damage they're getting down.
This is looking great for Vindian.
Wow. This is super great.
But look, though, you know what, though? Those javelins, though, are all that's left. Those spies getting good value, but at the same time, kind of going down. Oh, my God. It's like round 2. Elite Javelin Riders putting in work again. Great units. People don't think of Ethiopia as a cav civ, but they typically are. Yeah, the spies, though, do not counter all this artillery. I think this is good for
But are the Papal Guards count? Do they count as mercs?
Yes. No? Yes. Maybe. That's a good question. Let us know in the
Maybe.
comments. Because Papal Lancers do count as mercenaries. Oh no, and here comes the dudes though.
But we killed all of Italy's tempo right now. He has no resources without except for wood.
Yeah, which is
Like
so
he can't
gathered.
produce more army, so this is actually super great for Vindian.
I think so. You know, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. The score looks kind of bad, but we know that Italy overscores. We know, looking at the map, that yeah, now Vindy has freaking choo-choo, right? And on top of it all, his economy, he still has access to this hunt, this hunt. Like, I feel like Vindian is in a better spot, even though again Italy's score is monstrous. And look at this, he's going to mills, or not mills, mills and plantation.
Imagine he just put down 4 docks on each side. He has all the wood for it. He could just spam out boats, get the eco up again, and then remass.
Love the animation of.
We need to get more resources. We can't just stay on wood.
No, we need to ship stuff. We've got Lombard cards. We've got factory cards. You know, Italy maybe just be overwhelmed. And again, talked about this in the last cast. We'll talk about it again. This is 1300s, right? You know, I sit in there often too. Like, we normal people, right? APM is a resource. There's a reason Ottoman and some of the newer civs are so popular, right? It's because the macro and the APM needed is far less than some civs. In Italy, you have to be doing a lot. You know, you have to be balancing and thinking, and like his Lombards should be just, there we go. He heard us through time and space.
Yeah.
Good job there. So
But
again,
like we probably had like a couple of minutes idle time there from the Lombards. We could have had like 1,000 food in our inventory in those minutes. We just talked here, like, it's important to constantly keep producing and trading to keep up the economy.
Exactly. And that's because that's Italy's advantage. But he started to, it looks like also an age up option, Somali coinage, is coming in now for Vindian. So like the value of these trading posts are going to be massive. Yeah, there it is. 30% boost. So between Indian spice trade and now this, he's getting 60% extra influence. Actually closer to 70.
This is huge, yeah. He can just spam out all those good units from the forts.
Speaking of, right? Armored Pistoliers are pretty good, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they're very good. I love it.
Good job. Good job from Vindian to like pivot, keep his head in the game too. Because again, after a big score drop, like sometimes you can psych yourself out. You know, you got to remember, Age of Empires 3, the score is not perfect. I won't even go to a side rant, but yesterday I played a mirror match with Ethiopia, and the other guy had like more score despite me having more res and more military, and we still haven't figured it out. So score is not prophetic, right? It's simply an estimate. Don't always get your head wrapped into it.
It's all those cards you can cheat on with score kind of too, you know?
Right? When I was still fresh at this game, I would lose so many games because of the Advanced Fortification or Blood Brothers card.
Yeah.
Just be like, damn, I'll never win.
I'll just resign right now, man.
Exactly.
I have no chance anyway.
Alright.
Oh, let's get the Berbers on.
Berbers are going to just smoke these cannons.
Black Pistoliers too, or Armored Pistoliers it is, are
Right.
shredding too.
And look at that, he built all those Lancers. These things is Kizbilash? Or Kizilbash. But,
Oh, they're gonna die to the Berbers so hard.
yeah. I mean, he's kiting with the Burstligary, which is good, right? He's using micro here, but the problem is this is just a better composition. Good job, Vindy 2 does not take the bait. And now Vindy's sending out his Neftenia. He does need to get upgrades on them. But these Neftenia are a far better skirmisher as the game goes on. And Italy, too, stacking so much resources. I give Pete a hard time, but this guy right here might be taking Pete for his crown for stacking wood.
Italy is on 80, 90 mils almost. Yeah. So like the eco is starting to take off pretty hard now, even though they are on mills and estates.
Alright, oop, Shotel's now coming out. I think Vindy needs to get some upgrades in. Oh, wait, he's got the card. Did he send... Okay. Smart man. So now he's building the normal units because he sends Safari. This is a card Vindian loves, and I got to admit, it's not always my style, but I like how he is able to utilize it. And, I'll let people read without reading out everything about it, but it makes all your upgrades cheaper or free. So, good job, Vindian. Now
So
he's
you
building
could
Falcons.
you could like switch comps like with that card you could just switch right away. Get the free or almost free or the cheaper ones, cheaper techs, so you could just advance into another composition
Exactly.
that fits to the matchup.
Exactly. Again, flexibility. These new civs are just so flexible and varied. What makes them fun to watch at times, frustrating to fight, often as well, admittingly. But and I think good players of these civs, they're not just botting the same build over and over. This isn't France doing a semi-FF forever or Brits doing an Age 2 play. Like, these civs have to be able to mix and match. And I mean, again, Vindian's score is lower, but Italy does overscore because of the free buildings, and he's got a lot of upgrades, but I don't know. Ooh, this is going to be nasty too.
Yeah, Vindian is also placing down has got 3 town centers now, so he's booming hard while also having the good army.
He does, and he's not on farms, or not farms, but fields for African civs yet, but they did the last patch increase the range for the farm boost, so it's a little bit easier, right? Because a lot of players complained about the field placement and how annoying it was to place fields. I played Age of Empires 2 for years, so I'm the wrong person to ask about that, but it was a constant complaint. All right, let's go. Big fight time. These Shotos will bounce off these Veteran Royal Musketeers from the Age shipment. All right, let's go. Round, 4?
Ooh, the Falcons are gonna be insane value though. Italy has got no counter to artillery right now.
Well, but they do have the Royal Guard Spring Vaults coming out, which, I don't know, Vindy's going to get a lot of work though.
Now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. Italy's still stacking a bunch of rests.
Yeah, Italy should be at 200 pop, but you know what? Shit happens. So, all right.
Yeah.
Good job there. Kind of pushing the new Springvald model, right? Which I do enjoy. Sorry, Spin Guard. Springvald? I don't know.
But we got 4 of them, but still, Vindian has got so much artillery that it's gonna be hard to deal with.
Look at the Showtails go too, and there's not a lot of good screen. I really like the army here for Vindian. I think it's superior. What's his cannons doing? Oh no, Vindy, they're bunched. Oh. Never mind. Is Italy gonna hold?
This looks Ethiopia favored right now. Got a bunch of those Royal Musks down.
True, but Champion Neftenian, yeah, if you compare the stats, the Neftenia, it's just a better skirm. I mean, the Guard does do a little bit more damage. So, but there's cards that Vindy could have also sent. Wow. Yeah. And just like that, I mean, look, the score's almost evened up again. Vindian is back in lead in this game.
This looks very over now for Italy. He's got still army trickling in, Vindian. He's got Shotels, and Italy has got nothing but skirms right now out on the map. So
wait, how many?
It's looking nice for Vindian right now.
I need to check something. What? He's got 1, 2. Oh no, he deleted that one. Vindy, no. He's about to get a bunch of church organs from the card, and he should have 4 to 5.
He's got 4 of them. 5. He has 5 on the map.
Yeah, he needs to rebuild though. He just killed this one. Alright, and now Vindy is pushing. His army's superior. He's got the champion Shotos, which are just going to absolutely shred.
This is completely over right now. Vindian's got keeping up the pressure. If he just didn't trickle in those units, still he would have given Italy a chance, but
Royal
it's just too late. We got so much anti-cav right here, so I don't really think it's gonna be the biggest move, but Vindian is just doing amazing work right now. He's really close in the win right now.
I think so, and
saving.
he's just playing better. Like I really think his comps are varied. He's switching stuff up. He's using his resources, even though he's stacking wood too. He's been far more
Also
efficient.
having that, yeah. Also having that like multiple units comp is just so good. Like how many 7 different units he has in the comp?
Like,
It's just very very good.
look at that. GG's
Yeah, look
called.
at that.
That
GG.
was a really good game. First off, again, Vindian. I know recently sometimes his playstyle others can grate others, but I think that was a completely clean win here by Vindy. Like he earned that one. You can't blame the Civ or anything like that. In fact, he was using the same mercs Italy was. I think he
I
took map
totally agree
control.
with that one.
Yeah, he took map control. He greeted at the right time. He didn't panic despite being under a lot of pressure, and I think Italy just wasn't as efficient. I mean, the Italian player was solid too. He had good timings. He had good attacks. He won quite a few fights, but they weren't able to capitalize on their advantages, and Vindian just played to his Civ and his Civ strengths more knowledgeably.
Yeah. He kept really Italy like captured the whole game. He starved Italy so hard. Italy had a hard time getting those resources, and Vindian just played overall better in this game, in my opinion.
I agree. So, really good job there from our boy Vindian. Again, always a guy willing to try and mix things up, and I think really showing the strength of Ethiopia, which again is very underplayed and often underestimated Civ, right? So great to see some ways to play. We're going to go now into the post game really fast. Yeah, outgathering Italy by a good amount. Wow, pretty
The big
close.
fights in the middle of the game, though. How did that go? With all the black riders and
So,
that was
wow.
got a huge fight in the middle there. That was when the papal guards came out, right?
It was just
When he
clean.
got those 3 big bombards.
Yeah, I think,
But
I mean,
Vindian just kept up, like, he kept the bigger mass, like, containing Italy, like, taking, even though it was worse fights, like, it was harder for Italy to remass than for Vindian, because he's got all the resources.
exactly.
So,
Like,
like, just containing Italy like that, he knows he's gonna get the win sooner or later.
exactly. Keeping on top of the gathering, keeping on top of the tempo. And I think, again, Italy I like the Civ a lot, but it's also kind of a timing Civ. You have to have the right tempo and mix and match. And Italy was just stacking so many res. I think that in the end, the inefficiency really hurt him. And then Vindian being far more efficient with his Civ, even getting the Jesuit here, although he didn't get the Vil one in time. And with that, just an amazing game. Again, if you made it this far, we really appreciate it. Rob, do you have any closing statements before I take us out?
I just think this was a great game by Vindian. That's that's all I have to say right now. I'm impressed by the gameplay by Vindian right now.
Exactly. So I think GG's Vindian for a well-earned victory. For our Italian player, of course, if you see us, give us your thoughts. You were playing pretty solid too. Just some, again, sometimes games are lost not by miles but by inches. So just a little bit inefficiency and unfamiliarity with how Vindian is probably cost you. But we thought you fought really well too. And with that, if you like our content so far, please remember to like and subscribe. We will be out casting, and again, in the comments, let me know about things like audio quality and stuff because we're trying to ensure that the quality is at least bearable. And with that, I look forward to seeing everybody on the next one.